So good morning children and welcome back to the class. I hope you have done the recall according to what I had told you, that is theorem 1 and 3 you had to recall, because I'm going to use those two theorems very frequently as I'm going to take up the problems. Now I think we had completed till the fourth, no, not the fourth. I think we've completed till the eighth problem where we had to see a quadrilateral is circumscribed. No, a circle is circumscribed by a circle. Okay, a quadrilateral is circumscribing a circle. Prove that AB plus CD equals AD plus BC. That was the last one we have seen. Am I correct? That was the eighth problem. So we will take up the ninth one now. A very frequently asked question. I have already put it on the board there. So we will go back to the board. Please draw the diagram quickly. It is there in your textbook also. We have to understand the diagram clearly and try to use lots of geometrical concepts that we know so far. So there, I'll just read the problem so that you understand how the diagram has come up there. There are two parallel tangents xy and x dash y dash to a given circle with center O, and there is another tangent AB. So AB is the third tangent, not C. Sorry, this is B. AB is the third tangent. XY, X dash, Y dash are two tangents already parallel to each other. Alright. And the third tangent is AB such that it intersects the circle at the point C. So this is what is given to me. I have to show that angle AOB. AOB. Can you see this angle at the center? This angle I have to show that it is equal to 90 degrees. So for that, I have to use all that I have done so far as theorems 1 and 3. Most probably, I am going to use theorem 3. Theorem 3, what did it state? Can one of you state the third theorem? We have two results in theorem 3. I want one of you to recall that theorem quickly. Switch on your audio and
No tangents are drawn from an external point to a circle, then they subtend equal angle at the center and they are equally inclined to a segment joining the center to that external point.
Yes, good. So there are two things that we know when two tangents are drawn from an external point to a circle. Now I'm going to concentrate on the points A and B. Please look at the points A and B. From A, you can see there are two tangents drawn, AB and AC. Similarly, from B, it is BQ and BC. Though I am talking only about X dash, Y dash, XY and AB as tangents to the original circle. Now I am looking at two tangents from A. If A is the external point with respect to this circle, from A you can see two line segments touching the circle at P and C. So AB and AC are two tangents from the point A to the given circle. Similarly, from B you can see BC and BQ are tangents because they are intersecting the circle at Q and C. So I'm going to use that theorem 3 here. That's the reason I gave you that theorem 3. Now this is that line segment joining the center to that external point A. So what does theorem 3 state? It states that the external point, when it is joined to the center, you get a segment. You get the segment OA. That segment will make equal angles with both the tangents. So can you see angle 1 and 2 that I have marked? So these are the two angles made by the tangents from point A with the segment joining the center to that point A. So if I have a segment joining the center to A, then the tangents from A will make equal angles with OA. They are subtending equal angles with OA. So 1 and 2 have become equal because of my theorem 3. Similarly, come back to point B. You have joined O and B. So this is the segment which is making equal angles with the tangents. BQ is one tangent, BC is another tangent. So 3 is the angle made by BC with OB and 4 is the angle made by BQ with OB. So this 3 and 4 also will become equal. Can you understand that? I've just used theorem 3. When two tangents are drawn from an external point to a circle, They subtend equal angles with the segment joining the center to that point. They make equal angles with the segment joining the center to that point. So I have now come that 1 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 4. Now look at the lines xy and x dash y dash. They are two parallel lines given to us because it is told xy is parallel to x dash y dash. Now imagine AB is your transversal. Alright? XY and x dash y dash are parallel lines and AB is the transversal. What can I tell about angles PAC and QBC? What can I tell
Ma'am,
about
they're
both of angles? Can you
supplementary.
understand which are the two angles I'm talking about? I'm talking about
Co-interior
this
angles.
Ma'am,
angle
they're
and this angle.
supplementary.
Ma'am, they're
What can you say
supplementary.
about
That's
those two angles?
supplementary.
Same side of the transversal.
That's supplementary.
Yes, they will be
Co-interior
supplementary. Why?
angles.
Because those are the interior angles on the
On the
same side of the transversal. So they are the co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal and hence they will become supplementary. Alright. So when they become supplementary, it means your 1 plus 2 and 3 plus 4. When you add them up, it is going to become 180 degrees. So instead of writing PAC plus QBC is equal to 180 degrees, can I also write PAC as 2 times angle 2? Can I write PAC as 2 times angle 2?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because 1 and 2 are equal. So instead of writing 1, I can write 2 and 2. This 2 plus 2 is your angle PAC. So PAC can be written as 2 times angle 2. And same way QBC can be written as 2 times angle 3. Alright, you understand why I am bringing it in terms of 2 and 3 alone? Because I am going to concentrate on this triangle. Can you understand which triangle I am going to concentrate? I am going to concentrate on triangle OAB. So 2 times angle 2 plus 2 times angle 3 equals 180 degrees. Or I can say angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 90 degrees. Correct? Because 2 times angle 2 plus 2 times angle 3 is 180 degrees. 2 is a common factor. So 2 times angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 degrees means just angle 2 plus angle 3 will become 90 degrees. Then in the triangle OAB, 2 plus 3 has become 90 degrees. So what can you tell about this angle AOB? According to the angle sum property of triangles, angle AOB plus angle 2 plus angle 3 will become 180 degrees because of the angle sum property of triangles. These two angles already together have become 90 degrees. So what can you tell about the third angle? It will automatically become equal to 90 degrees. And that's exactly what I want. I want to show AOB is 90 degrees. So you understand so many arguments I have done. First I have used theorem 3 to show 1 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 4. Then I wrote PAC plus QBC is 180 degrees by using the parallel lines property. Alright. Then I substituted 2 times angle 2 plus 2 times angle 3 equals 180 degrees because 1 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 4. Then I use the angle sum property of triangles in the triangle AOB to get angle AOB is equal to 90 degrees. Follow? So the problem looks as though it is a lot of things to be done, but you are only using 3 major properties. One is the theorem 3, second one is the parallel line property, and the third one is the angle sum property of triangles. Alright? So write down given and to prove, we'll start with the proof. I hope the proof is clear because this is very frequently asked question. So I thought I will explain first and then do the writing because if the writing is done, then you hardly listen to me. So is there anything that I have to write as construction? Is there any construction that I require to do? Yes, because I don't have the segments OA, OB and OC. OA, OB, OC, all this I have joined. So you will write join OA, OB and OC. Okay, that is your part of the construction. So that those triangles are formed. A triangle is formed, that's why I am joining the OA, OB and OC. Now we will start.
Ma'am, OA and OB are already joined in the figure.
Only
Joined
OC.
in the figure in the
Ma'am, in textbook.
book. That's okay. Actually, that is not a part of what is given to me. I have only two tangents, the third tangent given to me. So OA and OB is actually a part of construction. If you want to write it, you write, otherwise no problem. Because the figure need not be given every time. Okay, we'll start with the proof. Either you can show that the two triangles are congruent and say 1 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 4. Actually, we did this in theorem 3. We have shown these two triangles to become congruent. How? SSS congruence. OC, OA, we have joined. So I am talking about triangle ACO and APO. So OP will be equal to OC. They are the radii of the same circle. OA is a common side. AP will be equal to AC because tangents from an external point will be of equal length. So by the SSS congruence, these two triangles will become congruent. And hence, your 1 will become equal to 2. So instead of doing the congruence, you can directly apply the theorem 3. That's why I have given it as theorem 3. Otherwise, you will show the congruence here. ಅದೇ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕು ಈ ಎರಡು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅದು ಎರಡನ್ನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ I have given you the theorem 3. All right. So we will just use theorem 3 here. I will tell angle 1 equals angle 2. Similarly, angle 3 equals angle 4. The reason you will quote tangents from an external point to a circle subtends. You are writing the statement of theorem 3. Subtends equal angles with the segment joining the center to the point. Center to that point. Okay, so this will take care of angle 1 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 equals angle 4. Then I will say angle PAC plus angle QBC equals 180 degrees. Why? Because XY is parallel to X dash Y dash and AB is the transversal. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Okay, that is the reason you will have. So I can write PAC as 2 times angle 2 and QBC as 2 times angle 3. You understand how this has come? Because I know angle 1 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. So instead of writing 1 plus 2, I'll write 2 times angle 2. Here you will get angle 1 is equal to angle 2, angle 3 is equal to angle 4. This is the reason for it. Now this 2 is a common factor, so I can say 2 times angle 2 plus angle 3 has become 180 degrees, which means angle 2 plus angle 3 will become 180 by 2, which is 90 degrees. Follow? Then, now going back to triangle AOB. So in triangle AOB, angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle AOB equals 180 degrees. ASP, angle sum property of triangles. Now 2 plus 3 is 90. So in the place of 2 plus 3, we put 90 degrees plus angle AOB equals 180 degrees. Therefore, angle AOB will become 180 minus 90, which is 90 degrees. That's exactly what you want. Hence, proved. Why so late? I don't know. So that is the proof. This is a very frequently asked question. You understand now why I have introduced theorem 3? There are some problems where you can use theorem 3 directly to tell that the angle subtended by tangents with the line segment joining the center to that point will be equal. So otherwise you have to show the congruence and then come back and say angle 1 is equal to angle 2. See, I have avoided the whole thing by just using theorem 3. Don't write theorem 3 as your reason. Nobody knows what is theorem 3. You have to give the statement of theorem 3. Alright. So we will move on to the 10th problem now. This is also frequently asked one. Can I clear the board? This is a very frequently asked question. If you are able to label your diagram properly and see all the properties that I have been showing you, then it is a very simple one. Just one step after another, you are using the properties to get at the result. Now we are on problem number 10. Okay, the problem number 10 is telling me that prove that the angle between the two tangents drawn from an external point to a circle is supplementary to the angle subtended by the line segment joining the points of contact at the center. So first we have to draw the circle and draw two tangents from an external point to that circle. So let us do that first. The circle which says center O. I have a point, any external point. Say I will call it P. From P you have drawn tangents to the circle. They intersect at that point. And from P you have two tangents intersecting the circle, say at A and B. That is the point of intersect. Then, yes, any doubt? Okay, prove that the angle between the two tangents drawn from the external point to a circle is supplementary to the angle subtended by the line segments joining the points of contact to the center. So I am going to join the points of contact to the center. Alright. So I have to show that the angle between the two tangents, I call it angle 1, is supplementary to the angle subtended by the line segment joining the points of contact to the center. So which is that angle formed between the two segments that you have drawn from A and B. This is the angle between the two segments OA and OB. I have to show that these two angles, that is the angle between the tangent, is supplementary to the angle formed by the line segments joining the points of contact at the center. That means I have to show angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. This is what I have to show. How will I show this? So what is given, and to prove we will quickly write down. Given PA and PB are tangents to the circle with center O and radius some r. Alright, to prove that the angle between the tangents and the angle between the segments OA and OB are supplementary. That means we have to show angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Now how will you do this? Now there is one thing I got by joining the line segments. What is this angle equal to? At A and B, you will get to 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Why it is 90 degrees? Why this angle is 90?
Angle between
Theorem one.
Ma'am, angle between the tangent.
Yes, the angle between the radius and the tangent. OA is the radius of the circle. At the point of contact, the angle between the radius and the tangent AP will be 90 degrees. Similarly, at the point of contact, the angle between the radius OB and BP will be 90 degrees. So these two are 90 degrees. Now using that, can I show my angle 1 plus angle 2 will become 180 degrees? It's a very, very simple one. How will you write the proof for this? Think. We
Ma'am,
prove these
angle
steps.
some property of
Ma'am, construction
quadrilateral.
join OP.
Yeah, I can join some. Like, need a construction to be done.
Yes, ma'am, join OP.
Join OP. Or what should I join OP? Without joining OP also I can see the proof already there.
Ma'am, angle some property of quadrilateral.
Very good. Are you seeing a quadrilateral OAPB? It is a four-sided figure. OA, AP, PB and OB. What is the angle sum property of any quadrilateral? Or any
360
four-sided
degree.
360 degrees.
equal to 360 degrees. So 1 plus 90 plus 2 plus 90 is equal to 360 degrees. This 90 plus 90 is 180. So 180 plus angle 1 plus angle 2 will be 360 again. From 360, if you remove this 180, you will get 1 plus 2 is equal to 180 degrees. So it is such a simple proof. You are just using the angle sum property of a quadrilateral and you are using the theorem 1. That is, the angle between the radius and the tangent at the point of contact is 90 degrees. So you will say angle OAP is equal to angle OBP, each of them equal to 90 degrees. Reason? Angle between
Tangent and radius.
between radius and the tangent. Then I will say angle OAP plus angle OBP plus angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 360 degrees. This is because of the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Any quadrilateral, when you add up their interior angles, they will sum up to 360 degrees. So, you know angle OAP and OPP are 90 degrees each. So, 90 plus 90 plus angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 360 degrees. That means angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 360 minus 180, because 90 plus 90 as you know 180. So, when you take it that side, you will get angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Which is exactly what you have to show. You have to show 1 and 2 have become supplementary. All right, is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the 11th one I think I can leave it to you. It's a simple one. Just look at the problem and just read it once. You can think and complete it. You don't require my support there. Prove that a parallelogram circumscribing a circle is a rhombus. So you are starting with a parallelogram which is circumscribing a circle. So there is a circle inside. On the edges of all the four edges of the parallelogram will touch the circumference of the circle. That is why the parallelogram is circumscribing a circle. So initially we started with a parallelogram, but when you are seeing that it is circumscribing a circle, automatically the parallelogram will become a rhombus. That's what you have to show. Prove that a parallelogram circumscribing a circle is a rhombus. When will a parallelogram become a rhombus?
All sides.
Adjacent sides should be equal.
Yes. In a parallelogram, only the opposite sides are equal and parallel. When I show that the adjacent sides are becoming equal, that means automatically all the four sides will become equal. So a parallelogram with one pair of adjacent sides, if I show it as equal, then automatically it will become a rhombus. So if I have ABCD is the parallelogram circumscribing the circle with center O, then I have to show that AB will become equal to say BC, which is the adjacent side. If I show that, then I can say ABCD instead of being a parallelogram has now become a rhombus. Now, how can you show that AB is equal to BC is what you have to See, so that I think you should be able to do. I don't know whether you will be able to recall some of the properties of a parallelogram. What can you say about the diagonals of a parallelogram? Can you recall?
Ma'am, they bisect each
They
other.
bisect
Yes,
each
they will bisect each other.
They
So that
bisect
is
each
one property I will be using. So I have given you 2-3 clues now. So you have to show one pair of adjacent sides is equal. You are starting with a parallelogram. So you know opposite sides are equal. Also you know the diagonals will bisect each other. So making use of these properties, if you are able to show one pair of adjacent sides are equal, then automatically all the four sides will become equal and hence the parallelogram will become a rhombus. I think you should be able to try this on your own. Those who are able to complete it, please post it in the group so that others who do not know how to do it will be able to follow your proof. Okay. Now going to the next one. It's a very interesting one, the 12th one, because you're going to use some properties or some things that you've learned in class 9. Let me see whether you're able to do it. A triangle ABC is drawn to circumscribe a circle of radius 4 centimeters, such that the segment BD and DC, into which BC is divided by the point of contact D, are of lengths 8 and 6 centimeters respectively. Find the sides AB and AC. So there is a triangle which is circumscribing a circle. So let us quickly understand the figure so that we know what is there and what we have to find. So it is a triangle which is circumscribing a circle. This is problem number 12. So you will draw the circle first or the triangle?
Ma'am, circle.
A triangle is circumscribing a circle.
circle.
Yes, draw the circle first. It is very easy. If you have your whole circle, don't make the circle very big. Keep it small so that you know you have to circumscribe this. So you have to draw 3 segments in such a way that I am not at all using a scale, so I may be very bad. Please excuse me. Because on this board, the scale is also of no use to me. Can you see somehow I have drawn this triangle? It may not be the same shape as it is expected, but somehow I could draw it. So I will tell the triangle is ABC like this. And I am given the length. BC is divided by as 2 points. The points of contacts are D, E, F. These are the points of contact between the edges of the triangle and the circle. So I am given BC is divided by the point D, are of length 8 and 6 centimeters. So this is 8. I may look different. What should I do? You may think why 8 is smaller than 6. It is just a very rough diagram that I have drawn, so it's looking like that. So you try maintaining 8 as a bigger segment and 6 as a smaller segment. Alright, so this much is given. I have to find out what is the length AB and AC. Only one side of the triangle is given, BC. And that is divided as 6 and 8 by the point of contact D. So how do I find the other 2 sides? So I have lots of construction that I will be looking at. So see what I'm doing. Okay, the center I have not marked. The center of the circle, we take it as 4. Now I have this big triangle ABC to be divided into smaller triangles. Now before that, I will join OD, OE and OF. What are these OE, OF and OD?
Ma'am, radius.
Radii of
They
the
are the
circle.
radii of the circle. So they will all be equal. The next thing that I'm going to do is, I'm going to join all the 3 vertices, that is A, B and C, with the center of the circle. Now by doing that, what did I achieve? I have broken down the entire triangle ABC into 3 smaller triangles. Can you see? O, B, C. I think it is reversed. This is B. Sorry. In the figure given, it is B on the right side. Sorry. Okay. So I have divided the entire triangle ABC as three smaller triangles: OCB, OBA, and AOC. That is the idea of drawing those three segments. Yes, now I am going to see or look for tangents. From C, CD is one tangent to the circle. Can I say CF is another tangent? If this is 6, can I say CF will be 6 centimeters? Because tangents from C to the same circle will be of equal length. So if this is 6, this will also be 6. If this is 8, this will also be. Alright. So this from A I don't know. So I will take this as X, so this also will become X. Alright. From the external point A, AF and AE are tangents, so they will be of equal length. From the external point C, CF and CD are tangents, so they will be of equal length. From the external point B, BE and BD are tangents, so they will be of equal length. So this much I could do. Is it not? So now I can find the area of triangle ABC. Can I find the area of triangle ABC using any of the methods you have learned so far? If three sides of the triangle are given, how do I find its area? There is one full chapter we have done on this.
From Heron's
Heron's formula.
Yes, the Heron's formula. If three sides of a triangle are given to me, then I know how to find the area of the triangle by using the Heron's formula. So here, what should be the semi-perimeter? S is equal to A plus B plus C by 2. So if your A is BC and your B is AB and your C is AC, can you find A plus B plus C by 2?
Ma'am, S equals 14 plus X.
You can, A is nothing but this length, that is 14. The first side plus B, the second side, 8 plus X. And the third side is 6 plus X, whole divided by 2. So 14 plus 6 plus 8, that is 28 plus 2x divided by 2. Or I can say it is 14 plus x. Just take 2 is common, I have taken from this, so it will become 14 plus x. This 2 will get cancelled. I hope it is understood. So semi-perimeter is there. So can you apply the Heron's formula? Area of triangle ABC will be equal to square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Here your A, I am taking it as 14, B is 8 plus X and C is 6 plus X. The three sides. Alright, so will you be able to complete the area using the Heron's formula? But nobody asked me the area. I am asked for the length. This X, if I find out, then I can find out what is AC and what is AB. Because 8 plus X will give me AB and 6 plus X will give me AC. So is there a way in which I can find out the X? Here I will substitute for the area of the triangle ABC in the Heron's formula. Okay, that is one part. Then how will I find out X? I have divided the triangle into three smaller triangles. I did this as a construction. You should be thinking what I will do now. I know the area of this entire triangle ABC will be equal to area of triangle 1 plus triangle 2 plus triangle 3. If I mark it as this is triangle 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So if I add the area of these three triangles, I can equate it to triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is in the figure. You will not get a number, you will get a value in X because all your S will be in terms of X. And your A, B and C are also in terms of X. So you will get the right hand side as some X. This left hand side, that is area of triangle ABC, it will move in the Bharatanagar. How do I find area of triangles 1, 2 and 3?
Ma'am, half into base into height.
Yes, you will use the formula half into base into height. For the first triangle, the base is BC. The height, you don't know what will you write it as OD, huh?
Ma'am, height is radius.
Height is the radius of the circle, but do you know the radius of the circle?
4 centimeter.
Good. It is given in the problem, it is equal to 4 centimeters. So, your OD is equal to OP equals 4F. It is 4 centimeters given. So, what you will do, this is one part. You will use the Heron's formula to find the area of the complete triangle ABC. Now, you will go back and find the area of each of the smaller triangles 1, 2 and 3. So, I will write it like this. Area of triangle ABC equals area of triangle BOC plus area of triangle BOA plus area of triangle AOC. So this will be half into base for the first triangle is BC into R, which is the height. OD is equal to R plus half into, here the base will be AD into R plus half into the base for the third triangle will be AC into R. Why I am not substituting? Because this half and R is a common factor for all the three terms. This will be BC is 14, AB is 8 plus X and AC is 6 plus X. R is 4. So 4 by 2. 14 plus 8 plus 6, that is 28 plus 2x. Correct? So here when you simplify this, you will get 2 times 28 plus 2x. This is equal to your area of triangle ABC. This area of triangle ABC illindanu baratte nimge. So you will get an equation in x here also. So substitute it here, solve the LHS and the RHS, you will get the value of x. Once you get the value of x, you can substitute B is 8 plus x and C is 6 plus x. You will get the two sides AB and AC. Should you be able to complete that? I am not going to do the calculation for the Heron's formula. You are going to calculate it here. You will get square root. You must be wondering, square root barattala madam, illi hogi nan square root hakla. Haki, matte square madi. Square the left hand side and the right hand side. And then solve the equation to get the value of x. So you will be getting a quadratic equation which you know how to solve. So solve the quadratic to get the value of x. Here, I am not going to do all those simplifications. You should be able to complete it. Once you complete it, can post it in the group for the benefit of those who are not able to do it on their own. Now, the last problem. Prove that the opposite sides of a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle subtend supplementary angles at the center of the circle. So this you can leave 1 or 2 pages. You have to complete this calculation. I'm not going to do it. I have shown you how to find area of triangle ABC using Heron's formula and using the 3 triangles. Equate both of them, solve the equation to get the value of x. Definitely you will get a quadratic because here itself you are seeing there is a term in x. Illi you will get a square root with some product of x. So definitely it is going to be a quadratic. So you will get a final quadratic equation and then when you solve that you will get the value of x. Okay. So with that I am removing this from the board. Now looking at the problem given in 13, try to draw the figure and visualize what is given to you. It's a simple one. Only thing you should be able to imagine correctly what is given to you. Opposite sides of a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle. So there is a circle which is circumscribed by a quadrilateral. So let me draw the 4 sides. Okay, so I got a quadrilateral which is circumscribing the circle. Usually draw the circle first so that you are able to join the sides touching the circumference of the circle to form the quadrilateral which is circumscribing the circle. So I will call this A, B, C, D, which is a quadrilateral. I call O as the center of the circle. Alright. Now the opposite sides. So AB is opposite to DC. This AB will make an angle at the center. Similarly, DC will subtend an angle at the center. Correct? So I should show that the opposite side CD is making this angle and AB is making this angle at the center. So I will call them as 1 and 2. Similarly, the angle made by DA at the center is 3 and this is 4. So I should show that angle 1 and 2 are supplementary to each other, because prove that the opposite sides of a quadrilateral circumscribing a circle subtend supplementary angles. Is 1 and 2 should become supplementary, 3 and 4 should become supplementary. That is 1 plus 2 is 180 you have to show, and 3 plus 4 is equal to 180 you have to show. How do I show this? Now the next construction that I can think of definitely will be, I will be drawing the radii of the circle wherever it is touching the circle. Say I will call it as point of contact is P. Okay, here it is Q. Sorry. Q, this is R and this is S. So when I join this Q. Can you see I have joined the center of the circle to the point of contact of the sides of the quadrilateral to the center. And hence, whatever I join there will become OP, OQ, OR and OS will become the radii of the circle. Correct? Now I have the radius of the circle drawn, I have the points of contact. I know I have to show 1 plus 2 is equal to 180 and 3 plus 4 is equal to 180. How will I show this? Now, I don't know if you are not able to think. Again, theorem 3 only is going to be useful for me. Now, originally I had marked 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will remove that for the time being now. To show you that those are the angles formed, I just have shown you 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, after I have drawn or I have constructed OP, OQ, OR and OS, what happened to the angles there? How many angles am I able to see is what I will try to figure out now. Now see, because I have joined OP, OQ, OR, I'm going to number the angles. Now please look carefully. This OR is drawn, so I can write this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 angles formed at the center. Can you understand what I am trying to do? After I have joined OR, OP, OQ and OS, I have drawn the radii of the circle. I am getting 8 angles at the center. Can you see? Because already OD and OC I had joined. Similarly, OA and OB I had joined. Then I have drawn OS, OR, OQ and OP. By drawing all these lines, the angle around the point O, I have divided as 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Now what can I tell about these angles 1 and 2? Please look at it carefully with respect to the theorem 3. Can I say angle 1 is equal to angle 2? 3 is equal to 4. 5 is equal to 6. 7 is equal to 8. Why?
Ma'am, the tangents drawn from an external point subtend equal angles at the center.
Very good. And the tangents drawn from an external point to a circle subtend equal angle at the center. So all these are angles made at the center by tangents drawn from an external point. Alright. So which are the tangents are you able to understand? DS and DR are one set of tangents. CR and CQ PQ and PB, AP and AS. So those are subtending angles at the center. These two tangents are making angles at the center. These two tangents are making angle at the center. These two tangents again angle at center. Then these two tangents angle at the center. From D, C, B and A, tangents are drawn and they are making angles at the center. And those angles will be equal because angles subtended by tangents drawn from an external point are equal at the center. That means whatever angle the tangents are making at the center are always equal. That is why your 1 and 2 has become equal. 3 and 4 has become equal. 5 and 6 has become equal. 7 and 8 has become equal. Can you understand that? So when all these pairs have become equal, if the 7 and 6, if 7 and 6 are equal, 5 and 4 are equal, 2 and 3 are equal, 1 and 8 are equal, what can I say? Angle 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 will be equal to
360 degrees.
360
yes.
degrees.
Why? Because it is the angle
360
around
degree.
the point. Alright, angle around the point is 360 degrees. Now I know angle 7 and 6 are equal, 5 and 4 are equal, 2 and 3 are equal, 1 and 8 are equal. So instead of writing 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, I can write 2 times angle 1, 2 times angle 3, 2 times angle 5 and 2 times angle 6. One of these I can write. 1 and 8 are subtended by DR and DS. 2 and 3 by CR and CQ. 4 and 5 by BQ and BQ. 7 and 6 by AP and AS. So when I say 1 plus 8, we can tell it as 2 times angle 1. Similarly, 2 plus 3, I can show it as 2 times 2 or 2 times 3. So I can tell 2 times each of these angles. That is, what I want is 1 plus 2 and 6 plus 5 should become 180. That's what we had to show, no? The angles subtended by the opposite sides. Idana thane nam 1 and 2 agi mark madidde originally. This is 1 plus 2, this is 6 plus 5. So this angle, I don't have any more colors. This angle should be supplementary to this angle. So 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 180 anta show ಮಾಡಿ. So ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ 1 plus 8 ಅನ್ನ 2 times angle 1 ಆಗಿ ತೋರಿಸೋಣ. 2 plus 3 ಅನ್ನ 2 times angle 2 ಆಗಿ ತೋರಿಸೋಣ. Alright. So this will be 2 times angle 1 plus 2 times angle 2 plus 2 times angle 5 plus 2 times angle 6 will be equal to 360 degrees. Correct? Because 2 times angle 1 andre 1 plus 8. 2 times angle 2 andre 2 plus 3. 2 times angle 5 andre 5 plus 6. 2 times angle 6 andre 6 plus 7. Alright? 2 times angle 5 is 4 plus 5. 2 times angle 6 means it is 7 plus 6. So idella ಸೇರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 360 ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. So I can tell 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 will be 180 degrees. ಅತ್ತನೆ ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ the angle subtended by the opposite sides of a quadrilateral at the center are supplementary. Then you can tell similarly angle 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 7 will be equal to 180. Same way. Similarly, anta hakadre sana angle 8 plus 7 plus angle 3 plus 4 will become equal to 180 degrees. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. You can tell that the other two angles also will become supplementary. Follow? So that completes our chapter on circles. These I have explained. You should be able to write the proof on your own. I have another work which is waiting for me, so I have to end the meet here. I hope with the diagram and the explanation I have given here, you should be able to complete. Idral ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು you are using theorem 3 and also you are using angle around the point is equal to 360 degrees. Only two properties you are using, and you use that property to show it like this. 1 plus 2 plus 3 etc. till 8 is 360 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು 1 plus 8 ಗೆ ಬದಲು 2 times angle 1 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು Similarly, 2 plus 3 ana 2 times angle 2 anta bartundi. 4 plus 5 ana 2 times angle 5 anta bartundi. 7 plus 6 ana 2 times angle 6 anta bartundi. So I am just substituting because they are equal. 8 and 7 can be written as 2 times angle 7. Sorry, 1 and 8 can be written as 2 times angle 1. 2 and 3 can be written as 2 times angle 2. 4 and 5, 2 times angle 5. 7 and 6, 2 times angle 6. So then we ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ angles ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ 2 times ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. So that I can divide this 360 with 2 to get 180 and hence I will get my result. What I have to show eventually is the opposite sides of the quadrilateral will subtend angles which are supplementary to each other. Alright, so this completes the proof. We have almost done, we have totally completed the chapter on circles with lots of gap because we had the pre-midterm exams. So please do revise the circles. The way you have done the pre-midterm is not very encouraging for me. The way you have done the MCQs is very disheartening. I thought the MCQs will be attended properly, but unfortunately, the way you have done the MCQs is very disheartening. I thought by doing all those quizzes, I'm giving you enough practice on MCQs. But again and again, you're proving that you are very weak in attending the MCQs, or you do it at the end in a hurry, that you simply make some guess just like that to get some answer. So by maybe Saturday, I will post the marks in the classroom itself. I have almost got all the papers. Pragati also I have just received now. But Chirant, I am not able to find your paper. Chirant alone is a problem for me amongst all the children in both the sections. Chirant, unfortunately, your Kannada and English paper, I am seeing it is there. But the maths paper, I am not able to locate. I am yet to meet your science teacher. Maybe she has carried it away with her because only 2 papers are lying on the HM's table now. All the remaining I have tallied, I have got your papers. Almost I am through the correction also. So by Saturday, I will try to post your marks on the Google Classroom. Unless you turn in and submit, I may not be able to send your scores on the Google Classroom. Let me see how much you were able to turn in and submit your papers there. I am cross-checking your physical papers with the images that you have sent. Don't think you can fool on us and do whatever you want. That's exactly why we got the answer scripts posted on the Google Classroom also. Lakshmi also, I don't know why I have not received the paper. It was text to that it has reached the school, but it has not reached me. Unfortunately, I have to find out what happened to that also. So with that, I think I will end this meet here now. Because I have recorded, this is getting recorded and the thing will be stored on my drive. Now I have to upload this to the YouTube and then send you the link. It may take a little time. Let me try. Otherwise, you should be able to complete this exercise. All right. Anything else that you want to ask me? Tomorrow, I'm not meeting you. Friday, I will set up a quiz for you is what I'm thinking on circles. Because I don't want to start construction on Friday. So maybe I may not meet you as an online meet or a class on Friday. But I will post an quiz on circles. So please prepare for that today and tomorrow. So that you can take up the quiz properly. And keep recalling the theorems. There are only 3, out of which 2 of them are definitely going to be asked. And the third one will get utilized in problems like this. This is the reason I gave it as a theorem. So that you remember the statement and you can use it when it is required. All right, so shall we end it here? Okay then, bye. I think I'll stop recording.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought I am on the Zoom and I quit the meet. Please quit the meet immediately. I want each one of you to leave the meet. Please leave the meet.